Let's move on to main topic number 4. And our fourth main topic today gets submitted to us by Stefan Miller, who writes, "Greetings, John and co. Hoping you're all doing well and enjoyed your Easter weekend. We are doing well, thank you so much, and I had a great Easter weekend. Thank you very much for asking. With all the chaos in the film industry as a result of the current circumstances, just wanted to know your thought on James Gunn saying that neither Suicide Squad nor Guardians 3 would be delayed. I admire the optimism, but isn't he being a bit obtuse in that prediction? Seems like everything is being moved around. Why would his films be any different?" All right, thanks a lot for writing that in, Stefan. And yes, for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, like again, in the midst of everything, of a lot of movies being pushed and move around, all that kind of stuff, James Gunn was just recently asked, and everybody knows I love James Gunn. I think the dude is great. James Gunn was just recently asked, hey, should we expect that Suicide Squad and Guardians are going to get bumped around? And he actually gave an answer that surprised a lot of people. James Gunn said the following. He said, right now, there is no reason for the Suicide Squad release date to move. We are on or ahead of schedule. We were extremely fortunate to wrap shooting and set up editing from our homes due to a post-production team and studio with foresight before the quarantine happened. Plans for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 are also exactly the same as they were before the coronavirus. That comes from James Gunn. So basically what James Gunn is saying here is, look, we were ahead of schedule. And before, unlike some other movie productions that just were going along as normal until the shutdown happened, we prepared for it. We kind of had an idea that a shutdown may happen. So we prepped ourselves and set up all of our post-production workflow to work isolated from home. We are at or ahead of schedule. And the nice thing is Suicide Squad is not supposed to come out in the next 6 months anyway. So he's feeling really confident. There's no reason to believe that we're not going to open on time. And Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was even further down the line. So he is still at or ahead of where he was thinking he was going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Look, I understand. I agree that right now in the current situation that we're in, it sounds weird for a director to come out and sound so confident that their films are actually absolutely going to make their scheduled releases. But when you actually look at the circumstances that James Gunn is in and that his movies are in, it actually seems pretty straightforward. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to believe right now that either of these things are going to get delayed. If anything would delay them, Rob, I would think that if anything was going to delay it, it wouldn't be anything to do with the production of these movies themselves, but rather maybe Warner Brothers wanting to move another one of their movies into the Suicide Squad's spot or if Disney might want to move another one of their movies into the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 slot. But as far as he knows, that's not the situation. So I'll tell you what, it does sound a little odd or obtuse, as you said, but I actually believe him. I actually have high confidence, as James Gunn does, that these movies will release on time for all the reasons he said. Rob, it is strange to hear, but what do you think of James Gunn's comment saying that these movies, Suicide Squad and Guardians Volume 3, will both release on time? Do you agree?
I do. Like you said, they're so far out. Why would we think that they wouldn't? I mean, ultimately, look, this, like everything, this situation that we're dealing with now will pass. And it will be brought under control. And I think that these movies are far enough out that they probably won't be affected at all. What is going to be interesting is all of these movies that have been delayed or things, the productions that were curtailed. There's going to be a lot of movies to see. And there's going to be a lot of, I think, filled up weekends as they release all of this stuff and a lot of jockeying. But this stuff is far enough out. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 isn't even started shooting yet. So I don't think, and Suicide Squad's in the midst of post. So I really don't see that these movies are going to be delayed at all. I don't think it was unusual, or I don't even think it's really news. James Gunn's he's hunkered down, working away, making his movies.
You know what this says to me, too, is the impressiveness of foresight. James Gunn used the word foresight to realize, there seems to be a storm brewing, with all the talks. You know what? This could affect us. Let's start prepare. Let's not just wait for them to shut us down. Let's start doing things right now and assume we're going to get shut down. And let's put all of our pieces in place of exactly how we're going to do this. if the shutdown does happen and how we're going to do our post-production. And it sounds like they had that type of foresight. And it's that kind of leadership, whether that came from James Gunn or it came from somebody at Warner Brothers or whatever, that kind of leadership can help get you through a lot of bumpy waters. And it's kind of impressive, and it kind of makes me wish that more films had that kind of foresight, although I don't know who saw the situation being as bad as it is, if your name's not Dr. Fauci. But yeah, so that's something to consider. Question here is, guys, what do you think about that? Do you think these movies will actually get released on time? I actually wanted to know your thoughts on this, so I made that the topic of today's question of the day. And the question of the day that I simply put up at my Twitter, simply at John Campea, it's the top question right now. You guys can go there and answer it if you'd like. But I asked you guys just before the show started, James Gunn says that both Suicide Squad and Guardians 3 will not be delayed. Do you think he's right? And then we talk about some of the other things. And I asked you guys, and right now, about a little over 1,000 of you guys, over 1,100 of you guys have responded to this. And you guys have said the following. Yes, 61.9% of you agree that you believe both of these movies will be in theater and on time. But still a significant number of you, 38.1% of you guys are saying, nah, you think one or both of those movies will be delayed. So the question here for you is, what do you guys think? Jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.